Aliens are cool. I mean, they'll always be cool. Timeless stories about extraterrestrials with different vivid imaginings by different storytellers. What will they look like? What do they sound like? Why are they here? And maybe they'll look like this.
Door began to open.
Or this. Or this. Or how about this? And then we wonder, what exactly are we being shown? And why are we being shown it? It's something clearly out of human construct. And the unexplainable, well, they tend to give me shakes. And a film that creates that beautiful eeriness is one of my favorites, Under the Skin. I'm not gonna play that score the whole time. Besides copyright, it creeps me out. But it's really part of this whole unique experience. The score, composed by Mika Levy, utilizing strings in something jarring and entirely unpleasant. And that's one aspect this film accomplishes in its style, a style that took a decade to be fully born. Director Jonathan Glazer saying in an article with IndieWire, "You have to make your own language, a language used to tell a story loosely based on a novel by Michael Faber, a story of an alien creature roaming Earth as a seductress. But it's really an intimate perspective on discovering what it means to be human, and the approach Glazer took to this kind of story was completely alien, directing this film with the idea of subjectivity. And for a middle school kid when this film came out, it was a completely bizarre experience. You know, not quite the film snob yet. And Under the Skin was fascinating. It was a film I wanted to understand. Like when I saw imagery like this, in this long static shot, it was haunting. It felt detached. I hadn't seen alien harvesting done in such a way, this unexpected and out of understanding. I mean, the imagery and sounds when the guy just burst. It's never really left my mind in the best way possible. It doesn't make sense, it's not explainable, and we're not given an explanation. I remember very clearly the imagery of the helpless crying baby getting up on its legs for the first time. And there's a lot of observing in this film, and it's so eerily realistic because of an emphasis on hidden cameras. It is real a lot of the time. Glazer working with DP Daniel Landon to create spontaneity and environment.
It was quite important that both the camera and the alien had this very objective gaze, not necessarily judging the content of the frame.
These tiny custom camera rigs called one-cams designed specifically for this film. They were placed wherever they could hide, and with it they could lose any sense of a crew. The sound designer Johnny Byrne also putting attention to background noise and a sense of less control, almost documentary-like, but still cinematic. And half the time you can't even really understand what people are saying.
Thanks a lot, cheers.
A lot of the victims were non-actors, really in a flirting scenario with Scarlett Johansson. No knowledge of production whatsoever. And those little nuances of reality really sell the idea of an alien in the real world. And with this approach would come a more blueprint-like script than a clear structure. So the editor Paul Watts and Glazer would have to work to create this subtle progression out of essentially what is a lot of unscripted footage, piecing together a character, and it's astonishing the narrative they put together. Also, just in Scarlett Johansson's eyes, she retains this kinda dead, emotionless look, but we're still able to feel those small twitches of emotion. There's something there, but there's never enough clarity for her to not be alien. One of my favorite shots is this long shot of her driving, and it's the front mirror, and I was just kinda watching her, seeing if there was anything there the whole time. That tension is also there in the scene with the disfigured man, and we're wondering how artificial she really is.
I have a place about 30 minutes away. Will you come with me there?
But I remember this film because we do begin to feel empathy for something we feared. There's a feeling of sweetness when she attempts to be intimate with a man, and the score becomes warmer, the song Love being played, which I still love to listen to this day. And in the end, when she becomes prey, we feel nothing but empathy for something that isn't meant to be human. And that's what I really love about this film. I guess for me, it's really putting some kind of foreign lens onto what it means to be human, what it means to be us. And some may point out themes of beauty and superficiality, but it's really more felt than anything. It's something experienced through perfect craftsmanship of something otherworldly. It's a sort of what the F feeling that I really kind of treasure.